Hey, we're live. Larry's back.
Yeah, just for the intro. I'm going to leave soon because I don't want to be here.
Welcome back, Larry.
Hi.
That's it.
Well,
are you going to start?
hello. Welcome to the After School Special Club podcast. I'm Larry. And this is your source, I guess, maybe. I don't know, though. Doesn't seem like a source to me of video game news and commentary from not mine. My life is exciting. Yours and Mary's life. Stupid little baby, tiny little baby lives. Yeah.
Thanks for the intro, Larry.
Of course.
Uh,
I'm done. You can go.
You're still here. You can go. Just silence for the rest.
Yes, I'm here.
Mary, oh my God.
Oh, thank God. I was
Wow.
late. I was running late.
It's okay. It
Yeah.
happens to the best of us.
Yeah. So my name's Mary and I'm here.
Yeah. And I'm Chris. Welcome back to another episode of the After School Special Club podcast. Like Larry said, your source of video game news, commentary, and stories from our stupid little lives. That's a pretty tame intro for me.
No, it was very good.
Wow.
But who said our lives are stupid?
Larry did.
What?
I know.
He always just drops things and leaves.
Yeah.
He can't take it.
He can't take the heat.
No. I'll bring him the heat in a little pan.
Here you go.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
You burn.
Burn him alive.
Burn. But anyway, so
Wow.
that was a good intro. Thank you, Chris. For
I did
taking the
nothing, but you're
reins.
welcome.
Yeah. You do something every day.
That's true, unfortunately.
It's like one of those inspirational lines.
But like bad.
Yeah. You do something every day.
Do something every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Could be anything. ...
Wink.
Cursive. Yeah. But let's talk about our weeks. So
Do we have to?
yes, we do. We're obligated legally to talk about our weeks.
That's true. We set up our show in this format.
Yeah. So I will go first.
Please.
And I will talk about the gym that I just came from. Because
Yeah.
you know Fridays are my days where I go straight from
You go
work.
hard.
I go hard on Friday. Straight from work, straight to the gym,
Mhm.
and then straight here. But not straight here because the bus.
Mm.
It's a ghost bus. It could take 45 minutes. Could take 2 hours. Who knows?
Yeah, 43 sucks.
Yeah, that's where I repair my
Yeah.
tendons. on the
SF
bus.
Muni, if you're listening to us, the 43 sucks. 43 outbound sucks.
Yeah, it's the worst bus. It was on the list of one of the worst buses in SF.
Yeah.
Like lines.
And it's so weird. It's only outbound because like if I take the 43 to your house,
Mhm.
it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's always on schedule, but it's like coming from wherever it comes from.
The abyss.
Hell.
Yeah.
Help us. Help us.
There's a help us. Help us.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. But anyway, so I do that whole thing on Fridays. And my knees, last week, we had to make some adjustments because last week I, for some reason, refused to go to the doctor. I don't know about you, but if there's something wrong
I don't go
with
to the
you,
doctor.
yeah.
Typical man.
I wonder if this is like our generation though. Because like our generation also grew up like not wanting to call anybody on the
Yeah.
phone, like a doctor.
Well, you also have to pay for the doctor if it's not a routine physical.
Yes. And I have to pay every time. Because I don't go for physicals, I just go for things that are wrong.
Right.
they're like if you just took the time to do a physical, we
Nope.
could catch things before. Nope. I
Don't-
do it-
but it's free and you're like, nope.
absolutely not.
Spend my
I wanna
time.
pay. But my knees are shot. And at the gym today, I was like, can you give me some modifications? Because my old knees, my little bony knees,
Yeah.
they hurt, they creak. And he was like, yeah. And then I still like, I was doing like deadlifts and like all like the hard stuff and the ropes and like doing
Yeah.
squats and stuff. And I was like, well, my knees are still hurting, They're
burning.
but it's really nice though because the ropes, they're my favorite
I love
thing.
the ropes.
They just go, huh, huh, you know? And you get to see like, it's really hypnotic when
Yeah.
you're like
I
waving
think that's
the ropes
why.
around.
It's like, because I always used to say my favorite thing about like when I was a baker was just watching the mixer run.
Yeah.
Because it's so
Hypnotizing.
mesmerizing just watching it like whip stuff.
Yeah, especially meringue.
Oh.
That's my favorite.
And it comes together and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, like an hour later, you're just like, wow, that meringue took too long to make.
Wow. Oh yeah, because we used to make like 20 pounds at a time.
Yeah.
So it would take like an hour to whip.
Just like let it sit. Keep whipping.
I'm just like,
And
and they're like, are you gonna do something in the meantime? And I'm like,
I can only do one thing at a time.
I'm a terrible team member. I can only do nothing.
That's the spirit.
We all know those people, those
Yeah.
coworkers.
But this last weekend, I also played Magic. I had so we had people over for Magic one night, and then the
Mhm.
next night, more people came over for Magic. Unexpected, because I forgot. And so they were there.
Unexpected. They just showed up.
They just
unannounced
showed up. I was like, what? No. But they were announced by us, but I didn't understand.
at first.
Yes. But that was fun because I won a game. That was fun. And I forgot how much I love Magic. I've been playing it more and more.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. I'm going to make you play it. For your birthday. It's your present.
Happy birthday.
I got you a Magic deck.
You're like, I got you Commander deck.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
It's like the most expensive cards. You know,
yeah.
It's like,
I,
you're like-
I don't appreciate it at all because
Yeah,
I don't get it.
you're like, I hate this. I'm like, Chris, it's the most expensive cards. There's a Black Lotus in there.
I'm like,
You're
like, my favorite card is the swamp card. And you're like, but
that's just,
it's just,
I get
just for
angry.
mana.
I get angry.
And I'm like, but it's so pretty. And you're like, are you? And I'm like, stupid? Yes.
Stupid for Magic.
Stupid for Magic. Wow. I feel like it's just funny because it's like I know like a lot of Magic terminology, but I don't know what it means.
Well, I mean, that's
I know
where
the basics.
That's where it starts. That's the only thing you need to know.
Like I
Get
know
you
the
going.
card types
Mhm.
clearly.
It's
I know
amazing.
some things,
Love that.
and that's about it because I played one time.
Well, maybe you'll play again. Maybe I'll get you to
One
play
day.
again. Maybe one day.
Maybe this will become a Magic stream.
Don't give my hopes up. No, I like video games too much. But yeah, I've been playing Elden Ring, and the time I went back into Elden Ring, also we'll talk about that later. But I've been playing Elden Ring, gym, all those things that have happening with podcast stuff, interviewing for an internship,
Mm-hmm.
doing mental health stuff on Meetup. It's been a full couple weeks.
full-
Been a pregnancy of events.
You're like, I'm 9 months in
Yeah,
to this week.
I'm gonna deliver this against my will. Anyway, how's been your week? What, how, when, where?
Where? Why? Who?
What would
What,
Chris do?
What would Chris do? Well, it was my birthday.
Yeah.
Yay. Yay, yeah.
Happy birthday.
To you.
Now blow out the candles. That's impressive.
No, it was good. It was like a 2-day thing because my birthday was on Tuesday and then I had Wednesday off.
Mhm.
So of course I went hard 2 days in a row and drank a lot. Also chain smoked a lot. And by a Thursday, I showed up to work and like I was just like, ugh, ugh.
They ask you any questions, you're like,
And they're
Start
like,
barking at them.
"Okay." Yeah.
they're like,
like-
you hungry, boy?
I'm like,
They say walk and you go ape
I'm like,
shit.
To anyone listening who's not watching this, they're like, what is happening this episode so far?
It's Chris's birthday. Anything can happen.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. No, but that's great. I like the birthday weekend you had.
Yeah, it was great. And I tried like some bars and some restaurants that I'd never been to before, which was really nice because I've lived in San Francisco for 6 years. So it's like I feel like I've kind of exhausted my like exploration muscle. And I feel like I like know everything, but I don't because despite it being a small city, there's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
And so it was nice. Like we hung out in the Mission, which I haven't done that in like 3 years. So that was really cool. And we went to this restaurant, Lolinda, which I recommend to anyone. Very dark restaurant. Couldn't see.
Oh, and when you said dark, I thought like,
Like evil.
yeah, like medieval times. It's like the candle. It was like nights.
One candle.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. I mean, it was all candles.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Mood lighting.
Yeah, it was very dark. And I was like
You're like,
squinting,
hello.
trying to read the menu. And there are definitely people like with their phones out reading the menus with their flashlight.
Love that.
But it was great atmosphere. Our server was funny and like, yeah, like I said, we didn't order like plates. We just got like a whole bunch of like appetizers, which I honestly feel like is my restaurant move.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, cause you get Like, honestly, like, the appetizers are where my eyes go immediately, and I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. But then I'm like, no, I'm gonna get a meal, so I can't get an appetizer.
Yeah.
But then that's what I want.
Yeah,
So you did the right thing.
And I feel like appetizers are like shareable,
Hmm.
but like meals are not, like plates are not always. But so we were doing like family style. So we ordered like 7 appetizers.
Like, you made it tapas.
Basically.
Yeah.
So good. I had mussels for the first time in a long time.
Oh, I've never had that.
They're so good. I always forget how much I love like mussels and clams.
It's a weird kink.
Yeah. Well, so I haven't told Mary what our topics are for today, but I might as well tell you. I'm changing us into a kink podcast. So I'm easing you in.
Finally,
Yeah.
it happens. But no, clam. You said clam or mussels?
Mussels, yeah.
Okay, so what's the difference between mussels and clams? Or mussels and any? Like, I've never had mussels.
The flavor is a little bit different. I feel like mussels are first. I feel like they're more rich. They like, I don't know, taste like they have more body than like a clam or an oyster.
Okay,
I feel like clams and
Okay.
oysters are a little more bright.
Okay.
Mussels have a little more body.
I can taste it. Thank you.
Yeah. They're thank you so much.
Thank you.
And it was really interesting because it was mussels and chorizo,
Ooh,
which
that's
I've never
interesting.
had because again, like I grew up in the Northeast, so it was always just like straight mussels. Like the chorizo is like clearly like we're in a California situation in the Mission.
Yeah.
And it was so good. I think that was my favorite dish from the night.
Oh, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I might have to check that place out, and I'll be sure to bring a book light with
Yeah,
me
You
to
will
attach
you'll
it to
need
the menu. I'm like always prepared.
it.
The waiter's like, "Wow, you've been here before?" I'm like, "Nope."
Nope. Oh, speaking of that, the waiter was like, "Have you guys been here before?" And I lied. I was like, "Yeah."
The awkward like social like anxiety.
Yeah, because I was
creeps
like,
in.
I don't want like I don't want the spiel.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, and then he was like, thank God, because he was like, now I don't have to give you the spiel. And I was in my head, I was like, that's exactly what I didn't
It's
want.
like, I just did a white lie to get you out of it and me out of it.
Yeah, so lying is okay.
Yeah.
That's the message of this podcast.
Lying to strangers is what you need to do.
Well, yeah.
That's
It
how
keeps
you
you
get-
safe.
That's how you get to people to trust you is lying to strangers.
Yeah, if you lie, people will trust you.
Yeah, your first impression should be a lie. I
Yeah.
think I learned that in business school.
Yeah.
So when you introduce yourself, you want to introduce your name
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
yeah.
tell a lie immediately afterwards.
Well, yeah, because it's like you want like one truth, so your
Uh-huh.
name, and then a lie.
Yeah. Every day is a truth and a lie.
2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
You tell people 2 truths and you lie to them.
And everyone's like,
This girl's
is.
insane. This girl's a sociopath.
she makes up so many things.
I'm like, my name's Chris. I love cats, and I was born on Mars. And they're like,
He doesn't like cats.
his name's not Chris.
No, but that's cool. I'm really happy you had a good time your birthday.
Yeah, it was good. But I mean, that's pretty much been it. I also started playing Elden Ring again because I've had more energy to like play games that you have to put effort into. So I put Kirby aside for a while, and I went back and I started playing Elden Ring again, and like I'm like slowly getting stronger. Like I'm at that point where I'm like starting to notice that I'm getting stronger. So we can talk about that at the end, but that was also what I was doing this week. And other than that, nothing else really exciting. You know,
the huge. I know.
Work.
Yeah, that's not
Cooking.
no work. No cooking here. No work.
No work, no
just
cooking.
sitting, banter,
Yeah, rotting away.
rotting away with banter.
Not eating, rotting away.
Yeah. Like shriveled up in our chairs. Like, what about the banter?
But what about the banter? My God, you've forgotten the banter.
Pass me my cigarette. Give me some banter. But I don't know the topics this week because I'm not in the loop. So this is a surprise to me. So
Yeah.
I'm a little alarmed.
It's your birthday. Surprise!
I'm on alarmed.
I'm on alarm.
I'm alarmed. Oh no.
Mary's anxiety's through the roof.
I just shit my pants
I just peed a little.
a little. Just enough to where it's embarrassing.
But only for me. No one
Yeah.
else knows.
Yeah. Well,
Well, sorry, I just gave it away. But yeah, I was like looking at topics and I was like, I don't want to like talk about anything serious this week. So I like found some like fun topics. Just 2.
I'm excited.
Just 2.
For
Count 'em.
for 2 people.
Yeah, 1 for each of us. Except
Oh.
I'll talk about both of them.
And then you'll know both of them what they are, and I will be
Yep.
commenting on
That.
things, on the 2 things. Sounds like a good podcast.
All right, I'm going to scroll down in the notes, but not give too much away.
I'm looking at the notes.
All right,
What?
so speaking of Elden Ring, of course, just like everybody else, we're on the hype train.
Mm-hmm.
Choo choo, bitches.
It's exactly what people say.
And so I found this really actually like interesting IGN article where they were talking about. It was very brief, but they were talking about the most talked about games on Twitter right now. Now
Mhm.
I'm on Twitter all the time, so I was like, this is interesting. And so, interestingly enough, Elden Ring is not the most talked about game on Twitter.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Twitterins play.
Well, and that's what I wanted. So, oh,
Can you guess?
can you guess the top 10 games discussed on Twitter?
Okay. This is a good guessing game. All right. Okay, got to count on my fingers because I don't know how to not
I
count on my
can
fingers. Yeah, whenever I guess stuff, I have to 1, 2, 3,
Three,
4.
four.
Here's my guesses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. An hour later, the podcast ends.
It's just radio silence. It's my computer's fan in the background.
Yeah. Well, one of them's got to be. I mean, top 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Elden Ring's in there.
Yes.
So it's in the top 10.
That's correct.
For sure. Fortnite?
Might be there.
Grand Theft Auto.
Also, I also don't have them memorized, but I don't want to pull the graphic up because I'm scared to look at it.
That makes sense.
Can I pull up the graphic and you promise not to look?
Yes.
Okay. You're
I'll
like,
look you right in the eyes.
You're yeah, you can only
Like
look
really widen them.
at my nose.
So you're
So you're not looking right at my
Do I
nose.
look terrifying?
So no, Fortnite is not there.
Oh, okay.
Elden Ring is though.
Okay. All right. I'm like trying to think like, is this of all time or recently?
It's just recent. I don't know the time frame, but it's recent.
Okay. Kirby.
No.
Wow. Okay. I'm doing great. Resident Evil?
Nope.
Wow. All right. Returnal.
No. You have to think. So you have to think outside of the games that you and I play.
Well,
Well, because that's
Shucks.
the thing is, I saw this and I was like, oh,
some kind of sport game. Okay. So it's a sport game?
No.
Okay. A racing game?
No.
Those are the two genres that I don't touch. Call of Duty?
no.
Those are all the sports, all the games I don't play. So it's not a sports game. It's not a driving game. I've gotten 1 so far of 10, which makes me feel very inadequate, which is a trigger for me. So
Well, I mean, I can give you some hints.
give me a hint about one of them.
Okay, one of them is an entire franchise that we both like.
I'm like, Uncharted?
No.
Last of Us?
No.
Dang it.
More games. Like, there's like.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Final Fantasy's number is the 5th most talked about.
okay. That because the online, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'll say Elden Ring is number 7.
Wow. Okay. So Final Fantasy, Elden Ring, that makes sense. That makes sense. So not Fortnite. So what's that other one that everyone plays?
I was gonna say there's one that is Fortnite adjacent.
Yeah. I'm blanking on the name though. I know like what it's called, but I don't. Apex?
Yes,
Haha.
Apex is number 4.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
could see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's really powerful. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I got Apex.
Apex.
Elden Ring.
These are not your facts. I was
Yeah.
like, biceps.
Okay. So Elden Ring, Apex, Final Fantasy,
Mhm.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
Nah. Yes.
Is number 1.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense too. Because the mobile. It's mobile and
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Another one of them is also a mobile game that became very popular
Oh.
recently.
Is it that one game that like I'm blanking, the name's big or the name's long? Or like the
No.
name is like okay, never mind.
I'm like, no.
The name is long.
It's long.
That's the name of the game. The name is long.
The name is long. This game's
Yeah.
name is long.
This name goes on forever and it just keeps going. It's Pi. Oh, okay. Genshin Impact number 1. So at least I got number 1.
That's true.
That's good. That's good. That's good footing. And then can I get another hint?
Sarah?
Can I get a call from the audience? Can I get another hint?
One of them is. One of them is.
It's hard,
Even I can't.
it's
like-
hard to explain it. I'm like running the numbers like
Well, I don't know how to, because I'm like, I don't want to explain the game because then you
Yeah.
get it.
well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not so smart as you think I am. Maybe you should downplay me.
One of them is a game that's been around for a long time.
Mario?
Not World of Warcraft.
Zelda?
No.
Mario.
No. But is like considered a classic. People still play it. PC.
Diablo.
No.
Not World of Warcraft, not Diablo. Okay.
No.
Yeah, see? I don't know.
Is very blocky.
Minecraft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 10.
Okay. Yeah, Minecraft and Genshin Impact. Yeah, those are more like. So I need to think like
You need to think like
younger.
Yes, and because the thing is, these all made me realize like also like how curated my Twitter is, because like I only see like the stuff
Mhm.
that I'm into on my Twitter. So like
Yeah.
all of these things, I'm like, oh, that makes sense because I know how popular these games are, but they're
Mhm.
not in my wheelhouse, so I never see anything about them.
Yeah, and I feel like I also like I know they exist, but not on the top of my radar. Not in my top 10.
There's a couple that I actually am not familiar with or don't really know, but there is one more that's a mobile game
mhm.
that became very popular recently.
It can't be. I mean, it's not a game. No, that's not a game. I can't say that.
I couldn't possibly say it on this
Can't
podcast.
say
about games.
Wordle.
It's Wordle.
What?
Is number 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wordle is an obsession. Okay.
And that's what caught my eye, because the article was like, Wordle is like the second most talked about thing on Twitter right now, which I feel like makes sense because you have the option to also share, like when you get it,
Mm-hmm.
you can share it to your Twitter.
Oh, so your people could see it, and then you can.
And there's like hashtags and stuff, so I'm like, that could be part of it because everyone's like, oh,
Wordle.
see, I only got it in 3 tries.
Do you think there's a picture, like a meme of like Squirtle wearing like glasses, but it says like Wordle?
There should be, and I haven't seen one, so.
Time's up.
Okay, well, you're free to look at the graphic
Okay.
because a lot of the other thing is
Ensemble stars.
like half of them are JRPGs.
Yeah. Okay. Knives Out.
Yep.
FGO Project. I don't know that one. I don't know that.
I didn't know the Ensemble Stars
Yeah, I don't know that either. Okay.
or the project one, and then PJ Sekai.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. Is that? I think that's is that a visual novel game?
It could be. It looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, which is it's funny because I'm so not in the like Japanese game sphere.
Yeah, me neither.
Like
It's
outside of Final Fantasy, I'm like, oh, I actually don't play. Well, I guess like From Software games are Japanese made.
Yeah.
And like
is Nier?
Nier is, yeah. So I mean, like I'm like anything published by Square Enix. That's
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a fan of. But yeah, I'm just not a JRPG person. A lot of these are like JRPGs or like the visual novels.
Yeah, it is funny because like I've played so many RPGs, and I did try Genshin Impact, and it is fun. Like it's really fun.
Yeah.
I played on the like PS4 at the time, and it was gorgeous. I was like, this game is beautiful, and it's free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free quotations. You know, you can buy stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
there is an ability to spend too much money on it, of course. But it's
That's how they get you.
beautiful.
They're like, oh, it's free, but then there's all these cool things you can buy.
But then look at this dress you could put on her, and do you like this dress? And I'm like, I do like that dress.
I do like that dress a lot.
I'm gonna
Thank
pay
you.
$30 for that MSRP.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're like, I could buy this dress in real life for $30,
Or I could put it on someone who looks better in a video game
wow,
every time.
got him.
Got myself.
Got by myself.
No, that's interesting. If you wouldn't have gave me the hints, I would have probably eventually said Genshin Impact.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, it says it right here too for the time frame. So this is Q1, so the first 3 months of the year.
oh, okay. All right, maybe it'll change.
Well, yeah, because it's published by Twitter Gaming, which I actually don't think I follow them, but so yeah, I'll be curious to see what in Q2 people are. If Elden Ring in Q2 will be.
Yeah, maybe everyone will get sick and tired of dying so much, and they'll be like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how it changes, or if it doesn't change.
All right, that was fun. I think I did a bad job, but
But
I
it
think
was fun.
it was an effort.
We had a good time.
Yeah, I got a C for effort.
F for effort.
Hey, I'm a C child.
Okay, so then,
I'm gonna cough real quick.
wow.
Yeah, I'm back.
So then, along a similar sort of lines, I was looking at. I like to look on gamesindustry.biz because sometimes I like to get more like analytical articles. And so they started doing this thing called GI Ask, which is
Mhm.
Game Industry Up Is Asks, where they poll different groups of people about video games. And so they were recently they pulled a large, I think it was like a group of 400 gamers
Mhm.
of like varying like place in the gaming community.
So like casual noobs,
I think so.
expert.
And they also I mean, I know they mentioned like they interviewed people like I think who might be like professional in some sort of way too, like people who go to like PAX or like
Mhm.
stuff like that. So like more than people who aren't just casual gamers, but like
Yeah, like pro players.
gamers.
Pro players.
And so they were asking them, why did you buy Elden Ring?
Hmm.
And so I just clipped screenshots from the article because I just thought I love data. I think data is really interesting. So
Mhm.
I just pulled everything. So they said over 200 gamers responded to this survey, and out of those, 35% said they purchased Elden Ring. 24 said they were entirely new to the game and had never played a Souls-like game before.
That makes sense. That number makes sense.
Yeah. When we asked this group of new players why they were interested in Elden Ring and they could select multiple responses, 80% said it was the open world setting,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense because when you think about like the marketing
Hmm.
and just like everything we saw of the game beforehand, it was like a wooga.
Yeah, it was beautiful, breathtaking. Also, the amount of space in it, I feel like gives you more mental space for it
Yeah.
in a way. Like I feel like because it was like a lot of times like in a From Software game, like you felt like you were trapped.
Yeah.
Like you had to do these things specifically this way. And if you're not good at it, then whoop,
Whoop, whoop,
out of
whoop.
luck, But this game gave you more like, well, can't do that.
So I'll go do this instead.
Go explore.
Literally us this whole time, like just now starting to fight bosses.
Yeah.
And so then after that, they said 67% said it was the critical reception that won them over.
Yeah, that also there was so much hype and also there was so much marketing and that
Yeah.
game got out there. Because they were expecting, what was From Software expecting? They were expecting like 12 million?
Or something.
Yeah, and then they got over like 100.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
like,
it was
what was it, 3 weeks or something?
Yeah, it was
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
And then 28% said it was the result of influencer recommendation.
There was a lot of people talking about it on YouTube. All
Yeah.
those YouTubers were out.
Those boob tubers.
Yeah, and plus they get early copies too, right? And they're
Right,
always
so they
like-
can play them. And then I think that there's like a period like after the embargo lifts where like reviewers can talk about it,
Mhm.
but it's still pre-released for the public.
Yeah.
So all those greedy gamers with their grubby
Yeah.
fingers were like, ooh, I want this.
making a difference, making people buy it.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
All right. And then they said that friend recommendation accounted for 40% of Elden Ring customers.
Yeah, I mean, I hype that game up as much as I can. Anybody who
Literally
listen to me.
same.
Anyone who listens to me, customers, like, hey,
Hey!
Elden Ring is the best.
And they're like, shut up.
And I'm
And
like,
you're like,
that sounds like someone who hasn't played Elden Ring.
yeah, it sounds like you
would
need to
say
play
that.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, to calm down. Yeah, calm
Oh
down.
my God.
Meditation.
And then it said, while 27% were drawn in by George R.R. Martin's involvement, which I think is really interesting. I feel like that's like over
That's a decent
quarter.
amount. I mean, there were a lot of decent. There was a time, right,
Mhm.
when people liked Game of Thrones.
Right.
There was a time when people were obsessed with it. Where like that's the only thing they were talking about. They're like, "Are you gonna watch a new episode like every week?"
Yeah.
I had gotten into it much later,
Same.
so I kind of like I'm glad I did that because I invested less of my life into it.
That's true.
But people used to like it, and I feel
Yeah.
like maybe they're like, okay, he has this influence. There's a part of me that still likes Game of Thrones, so maybe that part of me will like this because of that.
Right.
And it's a finished product, so he can't.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, and it is really interesting because I do wonder, like, of that percentage. Well, I mean, these are all gamers, so it's like it is interesting, like
Mhm.
that crossover between like mediums.
Yeah, I know. It's like Game of Thrones is very nerdy. It's very
Yeah.
like medieval, fantasy, high fantasy,
Yeah,
like women.
very high fantasy.
Very high fantasy. Extremely high. So high up you can't even see it.
Yeah.
The
All you
dra-
can see are boobs and butts.
boobs and
dicks.
butts. Yeah.
There were dicks.
There were 2 penises
Yeah,
in the show,
just 2.
and not even like attractive penises.
Yeah.
And there were like billions of boobs.
Yeah, billions of boobs
Billion-
bouncing bountifully.
Billions of boobs on the PBS network,
Billions of boobs.
floating in space. Any moment, one of these boobs could hit us. Luckily, NASA has
NASA has launched a rocket.
to shoot this boob. These boobs won't get near us. I love PBS.
All right, and then it said others cited reasons including advertising, which was 20%,
Hmm.
looking for a new action game, 6%, and looking for something more challenging, 6%.
See, I thought that looking for something more challenging would be higher than that because
Yeah.
I think
Same.
a lot of people I mean, I don't know. This is just opinion. Obviously, these are statistics, and obviously, this was a controlled environment to which probably could speak to better because they put a lot of time into it. But I'm just saying this right now. So obviously, that means
I'm right and they're wrong.
yes. But I feel like a lot of people might have bought it because they wanted to challenge themselves. Like, hey, like all these From Software kids, they think they're hot shit.
Yeah.
They think they're the best at games. Well, I'll show them. I'll get Elden Ring. I'll like try to, be good, get good.
Get good.
Yeah, I feel get good.
Get good.
Actually, bless you.
Thank you.
But I think some people did that for that reason because they were like, I know I partly did.
Yeah, same.
Because I wanted a confidence booster. I wanted a booster shot of the confidence.
Yeah,
kind.
I wanted a taste.
Yeah, a succulent taste.
Yeah, because I'll be real, like I have never like played like a From Software game. Like I've dabbled, but I've never like immersed myself. So I was like, now's the time.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I did. And it is so challenging when you're still weak.
Yeah.
When you're a weak little clam boy.
But it's clam boys.
Clam boys.
They're so weak. Did you start off as a clam boy?
That's one of the options. Like
Yeah.
the very last one.
It's like a clam outfit. It's like 0 stats.
And no,
No stats.
You have just you're level 1 and have 0 stats.
Yeah.
You have to build from the ground up.
Yeah. But you have the most powerful weapon. Like they give you the most powerful weapon, but you can't use it. Anyway.
I've been just a quick side note. I'm like using a sword right now that I don't have the stats for, but I still like refuse to not play with it.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Because I'm like
Guilty of
2
that, too.
points away on I think it's intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
They're like, you can't stop me.
And they can't. And it's been working.
Is it the crystal sword?
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So then lastly, they asked both groups, Elden Ring players and non-Elden Ring players, what their most anticipated game of the year is. The game that came out on the top was, of course, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. 24% of all participants picked this game, with Elden Ring players, 27% of them, marginally more interested than non.
Interesting.
And then the survey was conducted before Zelda was delayed. So the most anticipated game amongst this group was Starfield. Like, Breath of the Wild aside was Starfield.
Wow.
That kind of shocked me.
Yeah, that did shock me. Wow, that does shock me. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Which is going to launch on Xbox and PC this November. 17% of respondents opted for this, with both Elden Ring and non-Elden Ring players similarly excited.
I think I'm missing out on Starfield. I don't know what that is.
I know, right? I mean, I've heard of it, but I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
played it.
No. I mean, I know Star Ocean. I've played that, but not Starfield. But Breath of the Wild 2, that game is definitely... I was trying to think. I was like, okay, Breath of the Wild 1 was, game...
Game
best
of
game
all time.
Yeah, best game of all time on like so many lists. And I've
Yeah.
watched so many lists on YouTube and they're like, number 1, Breath of
Breath
the
of the
Wild.
Wild.
And I'm like, not surprising. I mean, it deserves it. It really deserves all the recognition that it gets. But I wonder...
However,
However, the second one, is it going to be as good? I don't think it's
I don't think it's gonna be as
possible to be
good.
as good.
that's the thing that I'm worried about is because the first one was so hype that I'm
Yeah.
like, they couldn't possibly make the second one better.
No, and it's like the same air. I mean, I know they're going to do cool stuff like in the air and
Right.
that kind of stuff. And they're going to change around the environment. And I bet it's going to be an amazing game.
Yeah, sure.
But it doesn't take the breath away, one would say anymore.
I'll take your breath away.
away. It's Zelda's in the
The
castle.
intro song.
Yeah. Take your breath away. Breath of the wild.
Breath of the Wild.
It turns into like 80s hairband stuff. Breath of the wild. It's like thunder.
And Link's like walking out.
Love it. If they put that in,
Amazing. Game
Most
of
in-
the
100% anticipated.
all time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Better than it just knocks Breath of the Wild 1 out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
What if it did? What if
We
it
don't
was
know.
so good that it just
I'm
knocks
scared.
Breath of the Wild 1 out of the way?
I'm scared.
Knocks the breath out of it, one would say.
I'm scared.
Winded.
Winded. Wasted.
Well,
Wonderful.
Well. Anyway. Yeah.
So besides that, the next biggest game was Horizon Forbidden West. So this was before that had come out too.
Yeah, I'm obviously before it came out. Throwing some shade down there.
Yeah. So out of the top 5, God of War, and then Pokemon Violet and Scarlet after that.
Oh yeah, Violet and Scarlet. That is
Yep.
coming out. That looks cool. I feel like I
Sorry, read the next line in my head.
Oh, you can say it.
And then the very end, 5% of respondents said there was nothing coming out this year that excited them. I'm like, what kind of gamer are you then?
Nothing excites me anymore.
Nothing excites me because I'm like, there's so many good
Yeah.
games that are still coming out this year. So I'm like, what games do you play then?
They're like, I don't like games anymore. I just took this because
Because I wanted something
bored.
to do.
Yeah. I don't like games.
Games are stupid.
Yeah, waste of time. It's like, oh, you know, I play.
Video games? Mm.
I don't know. Gran Turismo was good.
MLB The Show, 2022.
WWF. I throw down.
SmackDown, Raw.
Yeah. Give it to me raw.
Wrestling games are actually fun. My
They're
brother and I
very
used to
fun.
play them together.
Very fun. Anyway.
Oh, that's it.
Oh,
And then
discuss.
I'm like, discuss?
Disgust.
Disgust.
I do think that the fact that 5% of gamers are just like, well,
Well,
nothing. Maybe they're just overwhelmed because there's too many options.
there's too many things. They simply couldn't choose.
No. Yeah. But that was really interesting. I always find it fascinating because I think that, like you were saying before, like an ecosystem, like we all create our
Right.
ecosystems of games. And a lot of games I don't even think about as being anticipated or like
Right.
you know,
Starfield.
Starfield.
I was like, that's so out of my realm, like out of my wheelhouse that I would have never thought about it.
yeah, it might as well be called Garfield because
I mean, a Garfield game, I'd be down.
yeah.
You just eat lasagna all
The
day.
PS2 one? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Classic. Game of the year. Game of the month. But yeah, so that's really exciting to hear about other games besides that. And the whole ranking of like Elden Ring and why the excitement happened, all those pretty much make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like the marketing was like really out there. George R. R. Martin existed.
Slaps.
He slaps his fans in the face when he says that it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
He's like, it's gonna come out tomorrow. Do you think there's people still waiting? Sorry to sidetrack. Do you think there's still people waiting on that book?
For what?
For like the book.
Oh,
Like the new book to come out.
yeah. Idiots.
Yeah. They're like, he'll do it. I don't know. I
I
don't
don't know.
think he's out of
I don't-
juice.
I don't think he's going to do it.
I think George R. R. Martin's out of juice.
Oh, my God. Do you think so?
Yeah, get him some apple juice. Get the man some apple juice. He's
Get him
got to
some
get some
orange
juice.
juice. Oh, my God. He needs to get juiced.
Yeah.
Put him in a blender.
Get juiced, George R. R. Martin. No, but that makes sense. And honestly, the George R. R. Martin thing was the thing that I was least.
Yeah,
I was like, I
well,
don't
and that's the
care.
thing, because I'm like, I don't care about George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
I respect him, but I'm like, I'm not a fan of his work. Like, I don't anticipate stuff that he puts out. But it is interesting to see, and that's why I love stats so much, is to see like what the general representation from a sampled group of people is. Because yeah, like you're saying, like we create our own environment, our own ecosystem of
Mhm.
things that interest us.
Yeah.
And then you become so used to that, you're like, it becomes a very insular thing. And then you realize like, actually the things that are like more popular by number are things that I'm like, oh, Genshin Impact, most talked about thing on Twitter still, and it's been around for years.
Yeah, it is. And it's also like, accessibility. It's like Genshin
Right.
Impact's on everything, like mobile, PlayStation, PC, like. it's not
Plus,
like-
I think that the gaming communities in like Japan, Korea have a much stronger like internet presence.
yeah.
But I am not Japanese, nor am I Korean. Therefore, I am not in that
Yeah.
world
I
on
feel-
Twitter.
Do you think it's easy, like, do you think it's like because like the communication, it's like a good way to like meet people, a good way to like have friends, like meet friends and
Yeah.
do that kind of stuff? Because that
And-
seems like a good way to do it.
And is Genshin Impact's not a multiplayer game, is it? Like online multiplayer?
I didn't play it. I feel like it is. I didn't.
Yeah,
Like I
'cause-
was just solo.
Yeah, because I know online multiplayer is bigger in those countries.
Yeah.
Big.
Big. I watched because I went to a StarCraft
Mhm.
tournament
Mhm.
competition, and there were a lot of South Korean players
Yeah.
there, like professional South Korean players, and the abilities
Mhm.
that they have.
It's insane.
It's insane. Like the hotkeys with the PC, and I'm like, their fingers are just like.
And then I think about us playing Crazy Santa or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and I was like, "How do you drop
How
bombs?"
do you do it?
And it was literally just press 2.
Yeah, it was like on the screen, like press 2.
And yeah, and I was like, "I don't get it. 2. I only have 2 bombs."
Yeah, but it just reminds me because that game is super big,
Right.
you know, and like it's not as big in America. So the American like pro players, there's less American pro players than there are of
Mhm.
any other country. Like, and then like Europe's also like pretty small, But like, you know,
Yeah.
South Korea's really big, like Japan's really big, like, you know, China's really big because those like multiplayer games are really popular.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I just don't feel like I play multiplayer games. So of course that's
No.
like,
Again, out
know,
of my wheelhouse because I
yeah.
don't multiplayer.
yeah. And I'm sure a lot of like people here on professional esports, you know, they'll be like, multiplayer is the best game. Like those are the only games in my book.
Right.
You know, I don't play single player games. So it could be the opposite spectrum for someone.
Right. I know it is crazy because it's like multiplayer games are so big, but again, it's like out of my wheelhouse. So it's like I don't perceive them at all.
Yeah, they don't exist.
But it's like you think about like all of the like teams and like even like YouTube channels, like you know, like 100 Thieves or like groups like that where I'm like they have like millions of followers.
Yeah. They
And
make a lot of money
and
too.
they make a lot of money from it, and it's like it is actual sports at that, like professional sports.
Yeah.
But it's just like I don't even clock that because I'm like I play single player games, RPGs,
Yeah.
storylines.
I feel like that's why I like PlayStation,
Yes.
because like they do a lot of like single player story oriented games, narratives. I feel like they do that a lot
Right.
in a world where I feel like it's just going, not to sound like, you know,
A boomer.
boomer, but like it's in a world of like, you know, opening up, which is good.
Right.
Like I support that 100%. It's opening up the world.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really good right now, especially because everyone's kind of divided. But at the same time, I care less and less about multiplayer games.
Yeah, and like I think it's also interesting too because it's very telling of the way that like and reinforces, I think, like the notion of video games as art, right? Like everyone gets something different out of art. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you could listen to the same song as someone or observe the same painting as someone, but it's like you too will take something different out of it. And I think that that's what it's like too with gaming. It's like I like the reason why I'm such a PlayStation head is because they are like the experts at developing these like huge games that are story driven and have an emotional impact
Mm-hmm.
and are just so well designed. And it's like that's what I want out of a video game. Like
Yeah.
I don't want multiplayer because I don't play video games to socialize. Like they're my escape. So I'm like I don't want anyone else involved in my video game process. So
Yeah.
it's like that's why I like those games so much, because it's like I want to invest in a solo journey and like connect to a character and like experience their experience and whatever. So yeah, I think it is. It's just really cool to think about the ways that people get,
You're
different
excused.
things out of different games.
Hmm.
Well,
Well, the more you know,
the more you know.
the more you digest.
Or burp.
Or
Or not
burp.
digest and burp.
Yeah, burp it up. Burp up. Bird up.
I'm burping up.
No, that's a really good point. Like I think that's why I also like PlayStation. I also like narratives.
Yeah.
And whenever there's an option to turn multiplayer off, I hit that button. Nope,
Goodbye.
absolutely not. Like, and then plus, I don't know if we're gonna talk about Elden Ring right now, which we probably can.
We will. We should. Those are my topics for the day.
Okay, so topics are over. Let's talk about Elden Ring for a
What
minute.
we've been playing.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
What a surprise! What a surprise!
Wow, no, it's weird. Nobody's playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, they all just like ghosted it. They're like,
They're all playing Genshin Impact.
yeah. They're like, you know what's better? Genshin Impact.
I guarantee you there's someone who thinks that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of
Well,
course.
obviously.
Absolutely. Elden Ring was far down that list compared to Genshin Impact.
Right.
But
Sorry. Somebody just screamed in the distance and you won't be able to hear it on the microphone.
it sounded like first I thought it was like a police alarm, but then I was like, no, that's a human voice.
scream.
It's a human voice.
They were reacting to us saying Genshin Impact is better than Elden Ring.
They're like, "Bah,
They're
squawk."
one of the people watching our stream. They're like, "Bah!"
They're like twittering. Obviously, I'm on Twitter. I know what it's
Hot
called.
thumbs.
Hot thumbs. But I was saying before. So the reason why I got back in Elden Ring is I stopped
Yeah.
playing it for a while because I was focusing on everything else. I was like, okay, I heard somewhere that you can make Torrent fly. And I was like, I'm going to try this glitch out because it's a glitch and they're going to fix it in a patch. So I need to try it before they fix it. Chris is getting into my mints.
My mint.
I might take a mint too.
Would you like a mint, ma'am?
Mint. Oh, thank you so
For the
much.
lady.
Oh, I know, lady.
I'm no lady. Ugh.
I spread. But I won't because I'm wearing a skirt.
But Mary, that'll put us on the front page.
Yeah. That's right. That's probably right. You're right about that. But I was saying, the reason why I got back into Elden Ring was because this glitch. I was like, I want to try this glitch out. And supposedly If you go to like, there's only like real like 2 or 3 locations on the
Mhm.
map, which is very tiny amount compared to how big the map is.
Right.
So there's one. Do you remember like there's like this building, right? With like this big angel guy and he's like standing guard out front and there's like a
Mhm.
stairway.
Yep.
And you go in and there's that monster thing that doesn't talk but then will talk to you if you talk to that other person.
Yeah.
You know, talk. If you go to the right, to the left of that,
Mhm.
right? And there's like those little guys right there, but you can avoid them. So you jump over them.
Yep.
And there's a little cliff. And you can run up the cliff. So Torrent, like, he's like running,
Mhm.
you know, at like the wall, but there's nowhere to go. So he's running in like
Yep.
an up direction. If you get off of Torrent, like if you jump off of him, he
Oh.
goes to the death realm. So he dies.
Yeah.
So he'll like fall and you'll get off. So he'll die and you'll live.
Yeah.
And then, so that's why it's really tricky to do this because you need to
you might also die.
yeah. Oh, so many times. But I mean, I didn't get it to work, but I was really fascinated with, you know, in Animal Crossing, when I got those stars,
Oh,
how
yeah.
dedicated I can be to something stupid.
Yep.
So
And get no reward
get
from it.
no reward from it, only frustration.
Yep.
So I was like doing this for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh God, okay. So I have to time it perfectly.
Yep.
And then in the middle of that, this place is like, you know, in Caelid. So like a bunch of
So you're like doomed.
so many like dragons and other kind of stuff interrupting me trying to kill my horse.
Right.
So-
hey,
Hey,
I'm trying to kill my
trying to
horse.
Kill my horse here. Don't be such a buzzkill. So I was like trying to ride up, and then so there's 2 ways to get off a horse. You jump off in the back,
Right.
right? Then you jump off like normally,
Right.
And you're supposed to time it perfectly, and then like quit the game, like perfectly.
How do
and then
people figure
go
this
back-
stuff out?
I think it's like by accident, and this one's like, oh,
Yeah, because they
then-
probably like jumped off and like accidentally hit the start button and then it like quit the game and they came back and then Torrent was like
doo doo doo, like the lawnmower meme. I love that. meme.
That's still one of my favorite
Yeah, me
videos.
too. But so if you do that, you'll boot back into the game and Torrent will be like off to the side.
Yeah.
Like he'll be there, but you won't be on him. So like it's weird because like he's just standing there.
Ooh, that's kind of
then-
creepy.
And then you try to, so
It's not right.
it's not right. It's against nature. And you go to a corner of the map, and then you have to go to a corner of a map and you have to call him. He's not
Mhm.
going to come because he's dead. And then you call him again.
Yeah.
And they're like, you want to use a crimson, you know, tear because he's dead?
No,
Call-
I don't.
You call him again. You ring him up. You're like, ding, ding,
Dring,
Torrent,
dring, dring.
Torrent. He's like, not right now. You killed me. Ding, ding.
Ring, ring.
Hotline bling. And then you call him, and then you'll get on the horse. But if you do it on like a high, you have to do it at a high point. By the way,
Mhm.
hey, just walks on air. He just walks. He just
Wow.
gallops on air, and then you can go to different parts of the
Wow.
map that you haven't explored yet, like the areas where I can't do it yet because I haven't beat this boss, or I haven't like
Oh yeah.
the top middle section where like that big tree is,
Mhm.
the big,
The big-
big tree, the biggest tree of all.
Oh yeah.
In that area with like the dead dragon. Like I haven't been able to go inside and explore that area, which I hear on the interwebs is
Yeah.
a very big area with a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think you have to, I think because you get teleported there in the storyline. Like from what I understand, there's like a boss, and then when you finish him,
mhm.
you get teleported and you wake up in there.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes
then I
sense.
think you're able, and then there's sites of grace. You're able to like go back.
See, that's cool. That makes sense. I was trying to cheat the system because I'm not
I'm a
good
cheater.
yet. I'm a cheater.
Sorry.
I like on GTA, like back in
Oh,
the day, I
Flying
only
car.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I only played that with cheat codes. I did
It's
not play it
fun
normally.
without cheat codes. Like
No.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. So I try to break Elden Ring. I'm sorry. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Also, there's another glitch. Sorry. I just looked up like all this stuff.
Oh.
I was like, what's an easy way to farm like runes? What's
Yep.
an easy way to do this? I just want to like get beefy so that I can like have full confidence in these bosses. And there's one where actually people are getting pissed about,
Mm-hmm.
and they're calling on From Software to like please fix the glitch now
Yeah.
because it's really frustrating. People, you know how like people invade your game?
Mhm.
First off, bullshit. I hate that shit. Hate when people invade the
Yep.
game. Which I know that's part of the experience, and I'm not enjoying
Oh, I
it.
turned it off.
Yeah, me too.
I
turned
was
it
like,
off.
no.
But you can. Okay. So if you stand AFK in like a certain area of the map,
Mm-hmm.
you need to be at a very specific. You know the Academy runes.
Mhm.
So you need to be around that area.
Yeah.
And there's a very specific area you need to be. And if you stand AFK, the spawn, or like when they come into your game, the player, like they can't reach you.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up like dying or something. They're not dying, but like when they give up, like you get runes or something
Mm-hmm.
because you technically like I don't
Win,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So you just like farm runes. So people are
Oh.
coming to your game and they're like losing stuff and they're just like not being able to do anything.
And you're reaping the benefits.
And you're reaping the benefits. So a lot of people are getting pissed at this.
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful because
I think
like,
it's great because I'm just getting free runes.
Yeah, because if you exactly, and if you're coming to my game, like you're
Unannounced,
Yeah,
uninvited.
and you're intending to kill me, and you're intending to get my runes,
Nice try.
get my stuff,
No.
get God. But a lot of people hate it, so
Yeah.
And I didn't even try it. I was like, I'm not gonna try it.
No.
Because then I wanted to turn on the multiplayer aspect, and I was like, nah.
Nope.
I just want to play fingers with people I know. I just want to finger people I know.
want to finger people I know.
Just finger people I know, not strangers.
Yeah.
Yet.
Maybe
I gotta find the right stranger to finger.
Yeah. Moral of the story.
Yeah. Get fingered.
Yeah, I've been. I also have a sort of controversial take. So I've been like starting to fight bosses and like.
Mhm.
I mean, the whole thing with like Souls games is like you just have to learn the move sets.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I actually, I was like, I beat Margit, and I was like, that wasn't that hard.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't think it was that hard because I was like, oh, like I just like paid attention to what his attacks were.
Yeah.
At different HP levels and
Mhm.
stuff. And I learned them, and I learned how I could evade them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that wasn't that hard. Even though I'm not like super strong, and it took me a little bit longer because I wasn't doing a ton of damage when I would hit him.
Mhm.
I was like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And I think in my mind, because I waited until recently to start fighting bosses, like the challenging bosses,
Mhm.
I had built up in my head this like narrative that like everything is hard.
Mhm.
And like it was challenging, but it wasn't hard. And
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a difference.
Yeah. Like impossible verse.
Right. Versus like, oh, you actually have to have like some strategy.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which is different for me because I typically like I don't really like strategy games. Like I'm very like button mash, like let's get through this.
Mhm.
You know, and there's very few exceptions, you know, unless it's like a game like Last of Us where it's like I can sneak and then like kill people from a distance or like
Yeah.
sneak up on things and like I like games like that, but I don't like games where I have to like plot out my plan.
Yeah.
But it was fun to like quote unquote strategize, you know, like keep doing it over and over again until I was like, oh, I know like what moves he's gonna do, and I just
No, it's awesome. It's a good feeling.
so back in it, baby.
Nice.
Speaking of button mashing, I think tomorrow is Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary.
Oh my God. What are we gonna do?
When you walk away,
You can hear me say,
please,
oh, baby.
baby,
Don't go.
Baby, don't go.
Baby, don't go.
Cha 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 cha. Simple and clean.
Love jazz. I'm a jazz fan.
I'm a huge jazz fan.
Strangely enough, today, side note, not even talking about games, I listened
Wow,
to
on a
crap-
gaming podcast.
Yes, well, we talked about jazz. I need to talk about jazz.
This is a jazz podcast.
This is a jazz podcast. Jazz.
Jazz.
I was listening to so much jazz today. And it was like
I
experimental.
wasn't expecting that.
It was experimental jazz. So it was like not just normal jazz, but it was like
Jazz.
hip hop jazz
Oh,
with like a little bit of like soul.
wow.
Like all a mixture of it. And I was
Dark
like, this
Soul.
is dark soul jazz. It's a dancing game.
It's the Dark Souls game with jazz instead of the normal
You're
background
like,
music.
ah.
Ah.
Vaudevillian. I could see it vaudevillian.
Oh my god, it'd be great.
That would be funny. But yeah, it's so good. God, I
Yeah.
love jazz.
I like jazz.
Jazz is
Like
great.
I never think to seek jazz out, but when jazz happens to me,
Yeah, when jazz happens to you.
I need that on a shirt. Jazz could happen to you today.
Like a jazz ensemble that you're not even a part of is on your back. You're like,
Yeah, when jazz happens to me, I love it.
yeah. No, it happened to me today. I didn't even purposely look for jazz.
And
It
then
just
you're like,
happened to me. It was on the like playlist, and then I would listen to one thing because I was listening to John Baptiste, his album because it won Album of the Year at the
Mhm.
Grammys, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to listen to this Album of the Year, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's really good. It was like kind of jazzy esque.
Yeah, it had jazzy vibes.
It had jazz in it because he's like a jazz musician, and
I feel like
that-
jazz isn't a word now.
jazz.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz.
Everyone else is like, what is jazz? Why do they keep saying it?
Jazz.
Just jazz-esque. Anyway.
Wow.
But he's really like talented, super talented. And then the playlist just started playing his songs. And I was like, yeah, he's fucking good. And then it just kept going from there, like other artists. And I was like, I kept going like this is. And then it played Shaka Khan.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I was not expecting it. When you're not expecting Shaka Khan,
get shocked.
Yes,
you get shocked.
Shaka Khan. And I was like feeling it.
Wow.
Like, but first, I didn't recognize it was her because I never heard of this song by her. And I was like, who is this? I need to know. Like, I need to pull out my phone right now. Oh, Shaka Khan. That makes sense. Makes sense why it's a banger.
No wonder.
Yeah.
Duh.
Oh, it was a good music day, though.
Wow, really that sounds exhilarating. I love that.
I love it when I listen to new music because I've listened to the same music over and over again.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who, with like anything, just does it over and over and over and over again. And that applies to music. Like, I get like obsessive about things that I like.
Yeah.
And that happens with music. Like, I'll listen to the same album, the same songs over and over and over and over again. And then when I discover something new, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like mind bending.
It's amazing.
It's like there's other music besides the music I've been listening to for years.
Like, obviously, but like,
you're like, guys, did you hear that music is like, it's a
did
pretty
you guys know
big
music?
thing.
There's like a lot of music.
There's a lot of music out there.
Tons of music.
Not just these select bands, not these 10 bands I've been listening to.
Also, speaking of music, I just discovered like Amoeba does these segments on YouTube where they have like artists like pick out albums and stuff from Amoeba, and I'm like, I love that because I love seeing what like the people that I listen to.
Yeah.
Or like or sometimes they pick out like movies and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, I love that. I love that show or that YouTube channel because I watched because they do it at the LA one and then also the San Francisco one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched comedians too. I think like Eric Wareheim did one.
Yeah.
And I was interested. I was like, what inspires this guy? Like, what inspires these talented people?
This. He's like this, and also this.
Yeah, and this guy right here, and I'm like, well, because
wow.
that's how I started listening to Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Was because Fiona Apple in one of her interviews was like, I really love Fiona Apple. Love her so much. She's so talented. She was like, people that inspired her were, you know, on the list was Kate Bush. She was like, yeah. Kate Bush like inspired all my music. And there most of it, or a lot of it. And
Kate
I
Bush
was like,
rocks.
I love Kate Bush.
Rocks.
Love her so much.
Love Fiona Apple too.
Yeah. So good.
Both of them are great.
Yeah. But like I never heard Kate Bush, really. I didn't even hear her most popular song, which is Running Up That Hill.
Yeah.
I had never heard of that even.
I discovered, well, not discovered, but like started listening.
I discovered Kate Bush.
It was me. I'm the reason she's famous.
Went back in time.
No, but like I had a similar thing where like I listened to a cover of one of her songs that like an artist that I really liked did. And I was like, oh, like, and I thought it was her song, but then I like somehow like came to the realization that it was a cover. And so I was like, oh, and then I went back and listened to the original and I was like, oh
yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah.
Like she's an incredible woman because she was like, screw this. I'm going to produce my own albums.
Yeah.
As a woman in that time, like 70s, 80s.
Right.
But also like her music videos, if you watch them and even like her performances on like television shows, like SNL, like other talk shows, like late night shows, they're so weird.
Yeah.
And like out there and like just like what is this woman even?
Yeah, because the song it was Cloud Busting.
Oh, I love that song.
That like and that song is so good. I'll send you the cover too that I discovered it from.
Yes.
Cuz that artist Katie Malco, someone who I really like, who covered it and did like it's just like an acoustic version. But yeah, like Cloud Busting, and then like the music video for Cloud Busting. I'm just like, I love this.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this like eccentric, like just super creative woman. Like she's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, and like because I have her albums on vinyl too, because I'm trying to hunt them down. Really hard to find like a lot of her albums.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they came out with like this new set, like because I don't think it really released a lot.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't like that one album with Running Up That Hill, and I think Cloud Busting, same album.
Yeah.
That one was really popular, but other than that, like I don't think they sold really well. But anyway.
Yeah, because I feel like because her earlier songs that were more like mainstream sold well, and then when she started doing her own thing, I feel like it was less popular because she kind of was like, no, I'm actually gonna do this.
Yeah, and that's what I respect her so much.
Yeah. And
she only performed. Another thing about her that I really love is she didn't like performing live because she was very anxious and like she didn't like it.
Yeah.
And like she did like this performance, like I think once, like the show, and they toured, and then she was like, "That's it,"
That's it.
and that's all she's done.
So cool.
And then, yeah, she like bowed out. She's like, "No."
Yeah.
And then people are like trying to get her to come
And
back,
she's
and
like,
they
"Nope."
offer all this money, like
Yeah.
all these publicity stuff, and she's like,
Eh,
and she's so cute.
I know.
Like
I
when
love-
she won like an award or like a recognition thing. She was like went up to the podium and she was so humble, and I was like, "You're so cute, so cute." And she was a babe.
Yeah,
I mean,
she was
she's so hot. I mean, she's still hot, but she's
Yeah.
hot. Yeah, I love that you love Kate Bush. I didn't know this because I
Surprise.
love Kate Bush.
surprise.
I love the Bush.
Love a good bush.
Yeah.
And on that note,
On that note, that's about it.
we're gonna end the show. It's been
Yeah.
exactly 1 hour.
That's good. Good
Oh,
timing.
look at us.
Ah,
We
alright.
you can feel it when the hour passes. You're like, it's been an hour.
It's like an internal bell goes off. Dong.
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 Shame. Ding.
Shame.
Thank you so much for being here.
That sounded very genuine. Thank you so much.
So much.
God, I love you. Ugh.
Ugh. I mean, hi.
Bye, I guess.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, actually, thank you so much.
Mhm.
This is the podcast. It'll be available everywhere that podcasts are available. Mary edits all of the podcasts now.
Yeah, and they'll be uploading on Tuesdays.
Yes.
That's when the upload is.
So she'll upload them audio only everywhere podcasts are available. You can also watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Twitch while it's still available if you want to go back and watch it on Twitch. Yeah. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes if you enjoyed yourself, even for just 32 seconds.
Exactly
Specifically.
32. Yeah, because if it's 33, it's too
No,
much.
no, no.
But 32 is a sweet number.
Yeah, give us a 5-star review. Leave a comment. That would be so nice. That'd be so nice.
I would love it so
I would love it
much.
so much.
You'd be my best friend.
Forever.
Oh God, I hate that. I hate. Ooh.
Whoa.
All right. And on that note,
But seriously, thank you guys so much. We'll be back next week for another episode. Oh, my phone.
Ooh, good way to end. Bye.
Bye. How do I turn this off? Oh no. Oh, I'm a boomer. Okay,
Oh, no.
bye.